There's one thing though that's not coming out either way, and you and I called this a long time ago. And I'm gonna do something that I try not to do it too much in length, but I'll get there. Dreamcast 2, Project Dream. Holy fuck! It's no more.
Did we report on this in the fall? Was it?
I think it was the fall when
people kept asking us, Pat, what about the Dreamcast 2 petition?
So we finally.
What about the Dreamcast 2 petition? What? And we basically said this will never, ever, 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 ever happen.
And we got. So this is what I was talking about earlier. We got so much heat in the comments section. There was that one guy, Tornado something or another, who ran around and tried to discredit everything. He's like, no, we got it. We were in talks with people. This is going to happen. Every single person who poo-pooed it, he had like 50 fucking comments in this one section. Yeah, defending Project Dream and saying we were all haters and this was going to happen. So if you're listening, fucking weirdo, fuck you. We called this.
Hold on. There's no reason to have to call individual idiot commenters.
No. I think everyone who listens, who remembers this, is going to be like, no, this guy deserves to be called out.
Then go back and look before he hears this and deletes his weird comments.
Yeah. So, and it's exactly what we thought. This is fans wanting to make hardware a reality, and you can't do that. And it seemed like basically what happened here is there were some people who might have begun in the early stages to look at the viability of one of the many ideas they had for this project. The one that sounded perhaps the most interesting to me was basically just a Dreamcast with some sort of wireless router that would provide some sort of fan servers or servers for some of their online games. Basically, just a modern Dreamcast, a Dreamcast Slim, if you will.
Still has a drive to play the original.
Right. Basically, just a Dreamcast with a couple bells and whistles, and that would have been neat. However, the reason why I did bring up this guy or girl more specifically is it sounds like a bunch of fucking over-eager fanboys basically caused a bunch of infighting with unrealistic expectations, and the only people with any credibility that could have done anything with this project, which wasn't going to get off the ground anyway, were like, fuck this, we're the hell out of here.
Okay, so there was originally a Change.org petition that they submitted to Sega, which Sega probably thought, oh, that's cute. We got to have hardware, 15 years ago for a reason. It fucking killed us.
Right.
So why don't we jump back into it? But on Project Dream's Facebook group, there was a message, a going away message. The project has been taken offline. This is due to a schism within the team caused by inefficient and amateurish conduct resulting in members being removed and others leaving the team. In light of such unprofessional behavior and an embarrassing lack of progress, seasoned members of the gaming industry have chosen to distance themselves from the project.
Yep.
I too am stepping away from Project Dream. And then please note that the Twitter account is no longer associated with this group. So this is what happened.
You forgot one thing. Then someone else came out and said, no, it's not done. Like on that account, and then that account went like that or something like that.
So this is what happened. You had probably 3 people that had probably some experience with hardware that said, let's see where this can go. We'll take it slowly but surely. Then you get these fucking Sega fanboys join the project and don't know how to act professionally, have no knowledge of hardware development or any business sense, and fucking kablooey, blew it up by I probably started fucking emailing random people at Sega. It's like, oh, it's a great idea, come out with it. And Sega's like, what the fuck is this?
Yeah.
Get away from us.
Exactly.
This is some children trying to pretend they know business and know hardware, know the video game industry. It's insane.
I see it as a bunch of 15-year-olds who don't even remember the original Dreamcast, who just latched onto it, and a bunch of people who can't let their past go, a combo of the two. And the sad thing is had they kept their expectations mild, Sega has not been afraid to license out their name onto hardware.
No.
They starting with, and you can correct me if I'm wrong, but the Genesis 3 was a Majesco made product.
It was.
And it was officially licensed by Sega. I'm almost positive. If I'm wrong, whatever. Then they did there was the first portable Sega Genesis handheld aftermarket one, but was officially licensed by Sega, gave it their blessing with games on it. Now there's the Sega that it seems like everyone who comes into my store owns, that you can get at like Rite Aids and Targets.
Yes.
That has 80 games on it and a cartridge slot and controller ports.
Yes.
So had you played this cool and you had waited, you could have gotten something to what you were maybe looking for. A modern produced Dreamcast that isn't as loud as the old one, that came with wireless controllers, and maybe, just maybe, if you were freaking lucky, maybe some sort of internet connectivity, and maybe some sort of revitalized fan servers.
I think their best bet, which I think what they plan on doing, was why don't you make a PC with a drive that can read and play Dreamcast games, get the Sega license for the name, and like you said, maybe they can do something to get old servers up, and worry about potential new games down the line, or maybe depend upon the pretty robust homebrew aftermarket Dreamcast developers. So people are still making games.
Huge.
So that's where you should have hedged your bets and say, okay, we're just going to pay Sega for whatever 10, 20, 30,000 to get the name on our PC we're basically going to put out, and then we'll proceed from there. And it sounds like, though, they just had probably pie-in-the-sky fucking ideas and didn't know how to act about it.
Instead of having people who, were constantly jerking off to the thought of the PS4 killer, you probably should have been realizing that, no, what you can get is you could have potentially had something cool here.
Yeah, maybe Sega would have said, okay, we'll include on the hard drive, we'll give you like 6 Dreamcast games that will be included with the PC
or some Genesis games, honestly, because they've been doing that because they had the Sega Smash Pack. Put the Dreamcast Sega Smash Pack on there. Great, done.
So they couldn't even get that far. So I don't know. I don't want to be too down because there probably were some people involved in this project that kind of knew what they were doing, and they're the ones that said, what the fuck, we let these children in. We let these immature, and they're probably only 15, they're probably people who are in their 20s that were still just really immature about it and know what they're doing, or 30s, that just said, I'm going to be a part of this Sega Dreamcast 2 project. That's great. Do you have any experience in business or working with people or talking to real companies about project development, or are you just contributing hot air and dreams?
Right. And I could see that, this doesn't need to go much longer, but I can see that more than anything derailing anything is just the people who actually want to do something just getting hit with these unreasonable expectations day after day, and then dealing with backlash when they are like, we can't implement.
We're going to get Shenmue 3 on here as a launch title. Wait, hold on a second.
Hold the fuck up.
Let's back up a second.
Hold the mayo, okay? Yeah. No, we're not. We're not.
Sonic Adventure 3, we're going to start developing it. What?
What? I'm afraid you don't have the rights to do that.